Good, there we go. Hello, everyone. This is Captain MKG here. Thank you so much for joining me for a special birthday live stream. Yes, today is my birthday, December 30th. So, hooray for reaching 34. Before I head out and grab some lunch here from In-N-Out, because they just recently have that here now in the well, not necessarily the Denver area, but just in Colorado finally. So, since I haven't had that in almost a year, that's kind of my treat, and it also helps that I have a gift card there too. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into Space Engineers, which I currently have running in the background, and let's go ahead and take a quick tour of the base and see what honestly has been going on, because I haven't been here in a while, and I'll do my best to try to either add folks or try to respond to comments as best I can. So let's go ahead and switch it to, there we go. Okay. All right, so before we get to the actual tour, I need to check a few things here, because I have been mining quite a bit of uranium. I wanted to see how far has been processed so far. Processed so far. Let's see here. Gee, it's still going. Wow. Okay. So it says 75K is still in the storage, but when I last checked, it was at least at 200K. So it's been refining for quite some time. All right. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and retab. Actually, let's leave the tab. Let's leave the tab off for now. All right. So this is the cryopod. I'm actually going to go ahead and jump into the control seat and give you a bird's eye view of the base. You can see here we have our control tower, and we have our big massive drill ship that's over to the left of the screen. We have a very large landing platform. I have purchased 2 vehicles from one of the other factions that are in the game, and I've gone ahead and retrofitted them by taking out their atmospheric thrusters, ion thrusters, and the hydrogen thrusters, and replacing them with the modification for the Federation impulse thrusters, which you'll see on the left side of the drill ship. Those impulse thrusters are littered all over there, just because there is no damage from the actual pulse. So typically when an ion thruster goes, it'll go out about two block spaces, and that flame, if you will actually damage any blocks in its way and the character itself. So the impulse thrusters, they actually don't have any damage that comes off after they're engaged. So, which is definitely a plus when you're doing a lot of this drilling. So my little ship over here on the bottom right on the landing platform, that's been outfitted with shields, some laser turrets, and I tried to put in one of the photon torpedo launchers, but for some reason, I think the smaller ones don't take the larger rounds of quantum torpedoes that I created. So, I'll just leave it as is. Additionally, we also have a large connecting silo here for the drill ship to go ahead and drop off its ores. And we also have 2 rather large antennae from one of the DLCs of Space Engineers, 2 radio antennae, and our ore detectors. So what we'll do first is we'll go down towards the bowels of the base, do a quick tour down there, and then we'll come back up here, take a little brief tour around the moon in a little small ship, and then we'll jump in a large ship and go to one of the uranium deposits I've discovered. But I still need to actually go in there and mine the bulk of it out. So let me go ahead and put tab back on. Now I can take tab off. All right. So here, control tower. This is our main little hub here. Pretty much, all glassed in, all air pressurized and tight. Our cryopod, medical bay, just to keep us going. And there's our little scout ship that we can, maneuver around in the base with. Let's go ahead and walk downstairs here. And now there's 2 types of armor blocks in the game. There's your basic blocks, and then there's the heavy armor blocks. This entire base is pretty much composed of nothing but heavy armor blocks, because I have an abundance of resources. Now we also have these three systems right here. These three units are the build and repair system. That's again another mod that someone created, and they will basically, whenever a ship or an item is in range, they'll automatically build and build out that block or repair it if there's any damage. Let's continue going down. We see we have our long connecting tube here. This is our transporting pad, a single pad. We have this on a few places here just to get us around strategically to help reduce the time it takes to get from point A to point B. And we'll demonstrate that a little bit later on. There's the access port, or the doorway out to the main landing platform. We'll go out there in a little bit, but let's get the rest of the ship or the rest of the base. So continue going down. Again, more heavy armor blocks, some lights around here. Our connector is going all the way down. You see we have it connecting out to the platform for ore collection and all the way down to get to the main hub of the base. So continuing on down the stairs, almost there. All right, just a quick highlight. So right here, all these things here, these are refineries with yield modules attached to them. So essentially, whatever ores I'm processing, it's going to try and squeeze out as much material from it as possible. You'll also notice up here, along the upper part, we have surrounded batteries to help keep us as backup power in case we ever run out of uranium. Don't know when that could happen. And we're still working and trying to finish everything up here. We do have glass ceilings in here to keep everything airtight, but to also kind of give us a little bit more of a view, so it's not just a big giant block. More build and repair systems, large cargo containers. Over here, this is still a work in progress. I am trying to get our safe zone ready here, so basically I can prevent people from coming in and destroying stuff. And I was starting to build out my own little mini quarters here, but again, I kind of got distracted, and I did want to go ahead and hunt out or drill out some more uranium. All right, so with the refineries here, they are all connected by a rather large conveyor system here. So that way, once the ore gets done processing to ingots, it gets moved down to a large storage. So that way, the refineries are always kept free. These here with the arrows, or these blocks here with the arrows, those are conveyor sorters. So I have it set up to where each refinery in pairs is set up to go ahead and process specific types of ore. So our nickel, platinum, this is our big processing unit right here for uranium, gold, and as we can see here, we check the inventory, we can see that the refineries are still processing a ton of uranium. It's almost at max capacity, so whenever it processes ore, it gets turned into the uranium ingot. The uranium ingot gets automatically filtered out to the storage, which goes into our warp cores, which we'll get to here in just a second. And this ore is constantly being refilled from our main storage hub, so that way we're always moving stuff around. And the main storage hub is this big one right here. And let's see. So we keep going. We have our cobalt, magnesium, iron, more iron because we need iron for everything. And finally, these last six ones here, this is all stone, which will get processed into more minute amounts of gravel, iron, nickel, and I believe cobalt, if I remember correctly. So again, we have another singular transporting pad here to help kind of get over the stairs. This is our station shield generator, so it's keeping us protected. And if I actually hit tab one more time, in the lower left-hand corner there, you see that shield icon. That basically means the base has some defensive shields up right now. Let's tap out of there. Let's go ahead and fly up here. All of these are oxygen refineries. So they are refining the ice ore that we gather into useful oxygen and hydrogen gases. Oxygen tanks are here, and we have a bunch of our air filters out where, our air, how are these? Air vents, thank you. I don't know why I couldn't remember vent for some reason. But all these vents here are helping to keep the base full of air, so I don't accidentally kill myself by taking my helmet off. I have two big hydrogen tanks for right now because we really don't use a lot of hydrogen other than to just refill our mini tanks. But these two tanks are full. Another side for the conveyor sorter. And so let's go over this little model right quick. So right here, after everything is refined, it gets pushed into these big storage containers. There are 6 of them down here. You just can't see them all of them because of the lights. But all 6 of them have ingots, regular supplies, and they're all connected to these build and repair systems, which again will help keep the base operational. Now right here, these are speed modules, and they are covering around an assembler unit. So the assembler unit will take all the ingots, process it into whatever resources we need to build, and these little units here ensure that we get them as fast as humanly possible. So for each cargo container, we have 1 assembler, and for each assembler, we have 4 speed units. So we're going pretty fast there as well. And these are basically our reactors to keep us all powered. These are Star Trek warp cores. Again, another mod. This is the Defiant warp core. I've gone ahead and put in 6 because if I remember correctly, this is putting out a good ratio in terms of power to how much uranium ore it does take. So let's see. We have 3.6. So basically, we can pump out about 24 gigawatts of just about power, especially if we turn all the batteries off from auto setting to discharge. So that way it will take all the stored power and just pump it to wherever we need it to. All right, so aside from all these work cores over here, while I was building down here, I've gone ahead and built myself a quick medical bay as well as a cryopod. Cryopods are useful because I can put myself in there. It keeps the status of my inventory, whatever my stats are, and it just ensures that I don't lose anything when I log off the game. The medical bay here, as I'm recharging, just recharges my oxygen, hydrogen if it's connected to the tanks, as well as my health and overall energy. So that is the bulk of what I've been working on in terms of getting the base connected, ready, and just to my liking. So go back upstairs, and we're not going to take the stairs. I'm just going to fly up here because it's a little bit faster. I know me. I know. Okay. So let's hit tab real quick. Make sure my helmet's on. Good. Now I'm just opening these one at a time, so that way I can keep the oxygen and temperature locked into the base there, because once I do this, well, it all just flows right on out. So again, we have our very large heavy armor platform here. Within each of these lines here is another conveyor tube, along with a conveyor sorter, and also a build and repair system in each of the pillars here. So that way we can go ahead, and if we do run into any damage, it completely gets repaired. Now this is a ship I had bought from one of the factions I was doing work for, and as you can see here, they've all been retrofitted with these impulse drive thrusters. I don't typically use this ship very often. It was just because I lost my original drill ship because I flew too close to some other player's base and I wasn't aware that they had weapons for a defensive. So I kind of lost that drill ship. That drill ship was only a 7x7, so 7 drills, by 7 drills, so 49 drills. However, thanks to these little warp cores right here, the Klingon basic warp cores, there should be, I think there's 6 down there, 6 up there, and 4 on each side, so 20 cores. And they all pump out 100 megawatts, so I think it's like 2 gigawatts. I don't know. Anyways, this new drill ship, however, is a 9x9, so 81 drills, so it does get a lot of the job done fast. All fitted out with impulse drives, as well as this little nifty guy, my jump drive. Jump drive will allow me to get, to the asteroid that I want to get to rather quickly. And finally, what I did add to this ship was another cryopod, so that way, in case I can't get back to the base fast enough, I go ahead and just stick myself in there and just, wait till I come back. Now, we're just going to take a brief little moon tour. Boom. Okay. As you can see here again, this is our little scout ship. Lasers on the sides, which I'm really not sure if they do too much damage. Either that or I'm not supplying it with enough power. And of course, our shield controls right here. And would also make sense because there's not really a small enough warp core to put onto these things. So, kind of have to deal with what we can. So let's hop in here. Power on. Okay. And P to release. B to change the view, and up, and away. So while holding the Alt key down, you can actually look around a little bit, kind of get a good bird's eye view of the ship itself. Again, it's just a nice little compact ship I was able to buy and purchase from the factions. So, just a quick retrofit of all the, ion thrusters to impulse thrusters. One thing I will do is I will turn off the batteries, so that way I can save a little bit of power here and just fly up a little bit. And I can already tell that it is pushing the power because I am maxing out the power distribution right now. There we go. Okay. So apparently I'm going to have to add some more small reactors to this just so I can get, not that red warning light. So not too terrible. We'll fly by the faction base real fast, and then we'll come back. I'll do a quick drill, and then we'll jump back to the asteroid I was mining at. So let's see here. So yeah, not exactly the fastest ship, but I think we have a speed cap of about 100 meters per second. And you also have to deal with potential saving and progress warnings, as well as the, sometimes you get connection errors or, whatever the game may cause for, or whatever might cause the game to pause on you. Just switching views there just to make sure. Just to be in check there. Let's go ahead and switch back to this view. See, we have a little bit of guidance here when it comes to how high we're up off the planet's surface, power usage, speed. If I hold down the Alt key, I can look around here a little bit and just check things out, see my character, and see all the various buttons. All right, so getting rather close, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the camera, which gives us a better view. I always wondered, yes, I forgot about that. Okay, so if you're in the camera view and you hold Alt down, you can actually zoom in with the mouse key, or the mouse button on your mouse, and you can actually zoom in, to get a better idea. So I was hoping that was still a function. I just forgot. Okay, so we will fly into, this is the safe zone graphic. Has a warning there. Oh, someone's been here, because that is a 6-person transporting pad. So someone definitely has built. My guess would be Cinnabon, so that way we have some additional, resources to get to and fro. Because, obviously it's taken a minute or two to get around. So, yep, I'm well aware I've left the safe zone. All right. So with that all done, let's go ahead and head back. Okay, the moon. The moon. Because I started back here on the planet that's in front of us, but I had eventually transitioned up here to the moon. And so now I have a standard moon base. And once we get a good chunk of uranium mined, which again, I'd like to get it a little bit higher, because my faction name is UFH. No, URH, Uranium Refining Permits, because, I do tend to keep to myself quite a bit. All right, so next thing I need to check is if I can put a jump drive on this thing, because that would also help. Then again, I would need to also increase the available power, so that way it's not running constantly at 100. Let's go ahead and exit the camera view for now. Switch back to our third-person view. And if I fire the lasers, yes, lasers. I can hear them, I think. I'm not sure how much damage they actually do. Because again, I think they're just like the smallest lasers. All right, so let's go ahead and land ourselves down here. Hopefully not too fast, otherwise, if there's not enough power, it goes kapooey. Oh, hey, Cinnabon. How are you, sir? Just giving the folks around here a quick tour of the base and probably giving you a reason why you keep getting performance issues from me. Okay, so we have our landing gear set to auto lock. And let's go ahead and fly down, forward, adjust our angle, and there we go. Power down. All right. Now the real joy that I like to have here. Getting in this bad boy. This bad mamba jamba. Okay. Good to know, Cinnabon. Thank you. I was wondering about that because I'm like, these little ones aren't doing that much. So again, maybe the little ships just aren't designed for that. So let's see. Batteries are off. Unlock. We're just going to fly up and above the gravity well. You know, the gravity of the moon here. Then we're going to aim it towards, where is it? Silicon. Nickel. It was the nickel and uranium one that had the last uranium. And I'm still pretty heavy for some reason. It's probably because I didn't empty out the containers. Just make sure. Okay. Let's just make sure. Well, at least the big, large cargo containers are empty. The refineries, I'm not too concerned with that. So, okay. All right, so we are going to take a quick jump to, not the silicon one, not the ice one. There it is, nickel and uranium. All right, so let's go ahead. I got to turn off all the other GPS ones. Oops. Actually, which ones are out there? Oops, wrong button. Ice and iron, iron, silver. Oh, here. Good job, Nate. I'll go to here then. So turn off the ice and iron one. Iron and silver, which is a quick one to get. Oh, thank you, Cinnabon. I appreciate it. Yeah, strange, birthday this year. But I'll, again, as I tell most people, at least I'm alive and breathing. You can't ask for much more than that. Oh, iron and silver. That's what I lost my train of thought for. Turn all those off. Nickel and uranium. So yeah, it should be just fine. So we'll point our ship up there. I'm not going to jump all the way. I'm not sure if I'll hit the asteroid or not. So we're going to adjust the distance here to about 70 kilometers, just so I don't crash into anything, and also so I'm not using all the power. There we go, 71 will work. Okay. Exit that out. I already have it set up on the hotkeys, so yep, we're ready to jump. And that's another reason why it tends to be a little bit less, less powerful, because there's so much weight on here to transport. And I'm melting. Okay. Where are you? It has to be in front of me. No, it's the ice and uranium. Where'd it go? I'm also trying to see the here. Oh, there it is. So not too bad. I got pretty close. I just wanted to make sure again I didn't, accidentally jump into an asteroid and destroy this whole thing because I've already done that once. I don't really want to have to rebuild again. Although the build and repair system does help quite a bit. Okay, so there's here. So right, check out the here one real quick. I want to make sure we don't go too far. Otherwise, I have to back out and go in again. It's just a little bit of a headache. So we should be approaching the range here for the ore detector to go ahead and tell me that we have uranium. There's the nickel. There's uranium. There it is. You on the other side? Yeah, I think you're on the other side. All right, my bad. Yeah, I know. It takes a while to get used to the maneuvering around here. Come on. I was drilling a hole in this. I know that. This is what I get for not marking it better. Or the fact the sun is not really working in my favor right now. Oh, well, that's fine. Well, there's a nickel deposit. Saw that. All right, so I'm just going to guesstimate here until I try to get somewhere close to the uranium deposit, because there's a good chance that there's also multiple deposits here. So it's, yeah, it could be also giving me false readings too. So let's adjust to be in the center. Let's guesstimate. Oh, so right there. Oh, and 3. I'm just looking at seeing where the ore detection is for the uranium and kind of pinpointing it as best I can. Up. Nope. All right, so back down. 2, 1. 2 it is. All right, 1. Okay. So it's a slow process, but it beats having to get out the hand drill and just driving right into there. Okay. Drills are on, and away it goes. So again, a bit of a slow process, but well, I don't think I'll get to the uranium right now because that would take a little bit too long. It does give me a nice big hole to work with when it comes to trying to drill it in there. So the batteries are off just so again it doesn't do any weird drainage issues. And all the gravel and stone is just, or sorry, all the stone is just being converted into gravel, iron, nickel, and cobalt, thanks to the little few basic refineries we have on here. Let's see. In addition to 2 large carb containers, we have our short survival kit to help with health issues if we have it. And of course, our transporter pad, just in case I don't want to take the long way back, or in case I need to jump back, grab more fuel, come back out here, and then get the ship going again. Because once the ship is weighted down pretty heavily, it does tend to take a while for the jump drive to get us to where we need to go. I think only it can do a very short distance, like maybe 50 kilometers when I'm at max capacity. So, it is what it is. I also like to try and just do this as carefully as I possibly can because there's not a whole lot of room for errors here. So forward, because you'll notice everything has, or is within case of that border around the drills right there. So that way I know that as far as the drills are going in, nothing else will get, smashed. And I could also go ahead and turn off the inertial dampeners to go ahead and let the ship drift into the hole while it's drilling, and turn on the forward thrusters at a very small level to go ahead and just constantly be pushing. But sometimes the game or the graphics can actually adjust a little bit and kind of twist the ship around. So sometimes you don't want to necessarily have the ship being twisted while you're halfway inside a big giant asteroid rock. Although that does give me an idea for a new mod for somebody to make, in which case we can pass right through the rock like they did in the Pegasus episode in TNG. So, but that's wishful thinking. So while we're waiting, let's check on the inventory, specifically with my large cargo containers. So yeah, these guys will be filling up real fast with all the ore, with all the stone, and then once all that stone is done, the basic refineries. Let's see here. Refineries are already working at top capacity to try and process all that stone. Oh, it's silicon. Silicon was the one I forgot, not cobalt. Silicon. Let's see those. So there's my faction name, Uranium Refining Hermits. Just see, there it goes. There's the ship twisting a little bit. So I went too fast. As you can see here, a pretty good sized excavation into the asteroid here. And yeah, so that's pretty much the brief base tour, the ship itself. And these are just my humble beginnings in terms of trying to establish myself in the engineering world, in this game at least. So, and if anybody, I don't know, Cinnabon, is the group open? Are we opening the group for more players? Because if we are, I'll put a link in the description here after the stream is over. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. And we kind of have to keep a little bit outward this way, just so I don't have the game trying to figure out, like, okay, where do you want me to turn to now? Because if I try and turn inward, I can actually turn my neck a full 360s around. Okay, cool. Well, in that case, then, for anybody watching, I'll go ahead and put the link up in here just so we can try and get a little bit more exposure to the group and see if we can't get some more people in here. So I think I've been pretty consistent in trying to be in here almost every day, just to do a little bit of drilling here and there, but I don't really see anybody else. Well, except the other day when Bird and everybody was on. There we go. That way I know it's at least drilling in there. There's the one. It wasn't performance issues. It was the scene is too complex because there's so much stuff going on. At the very least, I also think the mod was updated for the Klingon basic warp cores because I'm not getting that red warning about the server version and the mod version being different. So, let's see here. Yes, I know. The exciting part of space engineering, mining away. But again, thankfully, it's just in this big ship instead of me doing this all by hand, because doing it by hand would take at least 10 times as much longer. And again, I also don't want to have to destroy this ship by constantly pummeling it into the asteroid. As you can see here, we're making a decent sized excavation into it. And mind you, I built this after I cleared out the rock for my base. So, because I started with a little tiny moon hut, and I expanded downward into the rock to give myself some extra protection. And now we've expanded outwards. I have new shields, so the shield's up. We're all good. Although this thing could use some shields too, just in case I run into another issue where I run to somebody else's base and they decide to have their weapons on default setting, so my ship gets destroyed because it has no defenses. It's just a drill ship. Oh, there it is. Unknown signals. Always a good time. I'm trying to get at least close enough to the uranium ore just so I can at least show where it is. Because sometimes the ore detector might actually be slightly off. So I might actually be a little bit closer than what I think, or than what I think I am, based on what it's telling me here. Because if I remember correctly, actually no, I don't really remember correctly. I'm trying to remember how the ore detector works in terms of determining how far something is based off of either the ore detector location or the player location. I'm not sure which, but it's one of those two. Come on. Let me see the lights. There we go. That's what I want to see. I want to see the drilling of the lights. Quit pushing back, asteroid. I need uranium because everybody needs power. Okay, there we go. Again, just try not to push it too far. Quick inventory check. Yep, there we go. So the large cargo containers are just about full with nothing but stone. But that's okay, because we also have the drill capacity at about 250,000 liters, I think, of storage space. So, plus with the refineries constantly going, that's helping us a little bit too. And I have thought about just slapping on a few extra refineries on the back here just to help, again, with the processing of the stone. So that way, we can clear it out faster, so that way we have more room for the uranium. And in case I have to build anything on the fly, I can easily use the survival kit there to create some basic stuff. Oh, there she is. I think. Maybe. No. Spoke too soon. I think that's still stone. Yeah, we've gotten pretty far in there so far. So after this one, let me just go ahead and turn the drills off for a brief second. Exit out, drill up. Yeah, no, it's still stone. Had my hopes up. We're not quite there yet. And yes, you really do not want to be in front of these drills, because otherwise they will, well, they'll basically kill your character. All right, so let's keep going then. I know we're getting closer, but it's just taking a while. And sometimes the graphics do tend to fool me a little bit here in terms of the colors, because uranium is obviously a very dark material in terms of the voxel coloring here. But with no interior lights here short of the red from the warp cores, it's hard to tell sometimes. I'm going to try and be a little bit more attentive to the stone extraction here. Let's see here. Come on. It looks like uranium, but I know it's not. The other thing I also try not to do here is I also try not to leave the ship inside the asteroid, so that way if I do have to exit out and save, it's not stuck in an asteroid and the game's not trying to figure out like, oh, you're an asteroid. That's great. Let's see if we can't destroy your ship then. All right, usually once we get it within about like 30 kilometers, I think, I'll say 20, we should be relatively close enough to see the uranium ore at that point. But again, I'm just watching the lights flicker from the drill action here. So once it's all gone, move forward. Yeah, I've run into that issue too, Cinnabon. I need to get better at locking down the GPS coordinates of like here is the surface of silver. Because I've seen plenty of asteroids that have silver, gold, platinum just right on the surface. There is the odd uranium, spot where it is, stuck right there on the surface. But again, sometimes you just can't tell, because sometimes they just like to bury the uranium right inside the asteroid. And hopefully, once I get around to traveling to other planets, hopefully there's uranium on the planet instead of on the actual asteroid. So that way I can build a little bit more an efficient drilling structure to go ahead and extract the uranium like, come on, just let me get closer. I just want to see how big this source is. That's all I really wanted to see. Because it is funny that we have to, drill in this square manner and have the actual deposit being a sphere. But the only other modification I would try and make to another drill ship version would be to have it kind of cascading back forward. So you have the one main point going all the way in, and then each level back, it kind of does the pyramid shape. And if I was really creative and really bored, I'd attach it all to one of the advanced rotors and just have it constantly turn and turn and turn, along with the drills itself turning as well. Just seeing if we've gotten there, because according to GPS or the ore detector, we should be close to there. Yep, there we go. We've got uranium. Let's just check it out. Ooh, oh my. That's a good chunk. That is, we found a good spot, because that is a lot of uranium. Oh yes, I'm gonna be jailing through this asteroid for a while. So let's check our inventory real quick. We're still doing good on capacity for the drills. So we'll do a little bit more, then we'll back out, and then I'll let the ship itself go ahead and continue to process with the basic refineries. And if I get enough things done, I'll go ahead and slap on a few more basic refineries to the edge here. So that way we can try and process a little bit faster. But I just don't want to add too much excessive weight onto the ship, as it's already massed enough as it is. What's that? 318, no, read that wrong. 31 million kilograms of weight being pushed around inside this tiny little asteroid pit. Ooh, excuse me. Which is also perfect timing, because then I'll try and back myself out of here and then save, and then go get some lunch. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can tell from the screen, but it's I'm definitely, there's just a lot of uranium here, and that's, that is the best. Hello, Thomas Potts. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. Okay, not Thomas Potts. I see you're not here. Let's see. There's the edge of the ore. I could, Cinnabon. I'd have to go back and retrofit it back at the base. Because with just the regular survival kit, we don't need too much in terms of materials to make a basic refinery. I don't think it requires metal crates or metal grids, because that's the only item I can think of that would require cobalt. I don't think we necessarily need all that. All right, so we've definitely gone past the uranium mark. Let me just get one more drill done. Pop out of here, turn the drills off. F. Okay, yeah, we've definitely gone past, but that is, that's quite a bit. Okay, I can see where the edge of it is. Yeah, Thomas, this is some of the quickest way I can think of to get as much ore out as possible can. And Yosef, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Now comes the tricky part. Forward, not up, down. Be carefully backing up, because there'll be sparks. Well, that, and if you put a build and repair system on, I mean, and have enough parts in reserves, and but I mean, it'll you could really go balls to the walls and just constantly just drill into it, because whatever damage occurs is just going to get repaired. All right, carefully backing up. Don't want to get the ship destroyed. Looking good. Increase. Oh, there it goes. There's that little crap. Not too bad. Not too bad. Back up a little bit more. Watch that corner. Over, down, back. And no. All right, let's try this again. Turn on the drills to help give me a little bit more wiggle room. Have to repair that drill. And pretty close to getting out. All right, drills are off. Let's see what the damage was. Oh, no damage. That's always fantastic. All right, so with the few minutes I have left here before I head out for lunch, let's go ahead, get some production going. Let's do, not just 10, do 100. Okay, and G, basically fine rates. X that out. Okay, good. Yeah, it didn't require as much as I thought. Really? Oh, that's why. It's because the survival kit's full. All right, fine. Be a jerk. Oh, well, that's doing that. Do it, my light's on. Okay. So, small deposit, large deposit, large. Okay. So we'll come back around here. And while I'm waiting for the survival kit to build stuff, just zip around the asteroid. Yes, I did turn the beacon on just so I don't lose it. I have done that before where I forget where I put the ship, and then I try to find it. I'm like, I thought I had a beacon on there, and then all of a sudden it's just, it takes me forever to figure it out where I put it. All right, come on. There's got to be some uranium deposit on the surface. It can't just all be within the rock. Actually, no, I take that back. It can be all within the rock. Oh, is that? No, that's stone. You tricked me, stone. How dare you? What they really need to put on the game is some kind of like little telescope that we can just go ahead and, be able to zoom in as a character instead of flying around like this, wandering aimlessly into the abyss. Let's see. That looks like ice. No, it's more stone, right? Yep, more stone. Too fast. This is why I put a survival kit on the ship. Slowly heal myself. Oh. I can hear you, ship. I hear you churning away. It's a slow process, but I'll take it. Are you done? Can you actually produce some stuff now? Please? That's true too, Siobhan. I know it has enough power. Oh, it's the stone. There's just too much stone in here for it to process. Damn it. So we'll just crank this up and just have it going like crazy then. So that way it will help the base refineries just process as much of the ore as possible. Let's try this again. 3. Ah, thanks. I don't really need nickel deposit, but it's nice to know that there's one right smack dab out here in the middle of nowhere. The surface of death. All right. Not seeing anything else. So we may just do a quick jump back, lock the ship in place, and come back later on. Yeah, because I've already explored this section. That's more stone. More stone. All the stone. There's the good old ship again. I already explored, I think, that little entryway, so let's go ahead, we'll jump back over here, and let's see if we can't get deeper into the pit here. Thankfully, this is the elite drill, so it'll just, you know, go through this like butter. A hot knife through butter. Although it is slightly tiring and time-consuming. Ah, look at that. There's another deposit just up ahead. Just gotta make sure I don't drill too much, otherwise, crack. Yep, there she is. Okay. So we found another uranium deposit. But good grief. All right, let's see if I can't drill my way out of this and find a quicker route to the uranium. Provided, of course, I don't accidentally drill into the deposit itself. Damn it. Sometimes I forget how large these spheres are. Oh, son of a bitch. Are you kidding me? I did not really just loop myself. Yep, I did. I just looped myself. Good job. Good job, Dan. Thank you. Thank you for telling me how to loop around myself. Thought I was going to be lucky today to get more uranium, but oh no. Game decided otherwise. Get further and further away from the deposit now. Stop that. I know I'm not anywhere near another deposit. Because I know I'm going another loop again. Yeah, there's the first loop. And there's the hole. You bastards. And this is why I need to put a gravity generator on here. Get farther away from the uranium deposit. And also farther away from my ship. Right? Yeah, that's the ship. URH beacon. I'll slowly drill my way through the asteroid. Oh, it's doing it again. Yep, I'm looping. Damn it. Alright, well, next to this. Like one of these caverns will lead me out. Alright, here we go. Back into the square hole. All right, well, what I will do then is right out here, jump to here. That way, yeah, that'll be plenty of room so that we won't have to worry about anything. So, oops, copy F. All right, let's check on our jump drive. Oops. Can jump, how are we doing? Oh, good, fully recharged in 1 second. That's nice. It's not how much power I really want it to have. It's only, I guess it is at full charge. Okay. So the moon should be right more or less behind me like this. Go ahead and get it into position. Slightly above the moon. Okay. Jump drive. Crank this up. That should work. Yeah, it should. I'll dial it back 1 just to be on the safe side. Okay. Back to the planet. Oh. Curve, curve. How's that? Okay, thank you. Just right above the gravity well. I'll be back for you, uranium. I'll be back. Whee! Ooh. I didn't realize there was a little graph or a little audio file that came with the jump. There's our moon. Orient ourselves. Now, thankfully, I have tested this. Even when it's at full capacity for weight, the ship won't actually drift, thankfully. Zoom out. Where are you? Oh, there it is. Yep, take a second to catch up with me, game. There's the base. And down the scope. Or, yeah, down we go. Other way, just so I can get myself on even plane. Oh, that's what it is. That's it. The game took a little bit of while to render the voxel material. That's why I was seeing all those black squares. That's all the glass I have downstairs. So thankful for these impulse thrusters. I don't think this would have been really easily doable without them. Now, if there's any damage here, the build and repair system should start taking care of it in just a second once I get within range. At least I'm within the shield. And it doesn't look like anything's took damage. Okay. Down, down. All right. Keyboard adjustments. Oops, wrong way. Okay. That's 3. Okay, level. Let's adjust a little bit. There's that. All right. Away it goes. Go there. Go there. Over. Back and down. should be good to connect. Oh, sure. Oh, ever so slightly off. There we go. Lock it in. Drop out. So yeah. Oh, and Cinnabon, just in case you do get a lot of performance or scene 2 complex issues. I'm going to go downstairs here real quick and show you what might be causing one of those issues. Down into the pit. There we go. So yeah, this might be causing the scene too complex sometimes. So I think there's, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 18 refineries working with various ores to keep us processing. So if you get too many complex issues, or yeah, performance issues, that might be one of the reasons why. So, all right. Well, it is about time for me to head out and grab In-N-Out for lunch before the lines get too crazy, and I really don't want to spend a lot of time sitting in line. I forgot to put a transporter pad up here. But yeah, have to retrofit the little ship out there with some more power. And there you go, the Hermit base. Before I head out, let's actually just check the inventory. Okay, well, yes, love seeing those numbers. I also just enjoy seeing the fact that the 2 refineries I have working overtime are just cranking that stuff out. So, alrighty. Well, with that all being said and done, it was fun for a little while. Hopefully, in the new year here, I'll be trying to stream a little bit more often. But yes, Thomas. But what I did is I retrofitted it with all the impulse thrusters because it was really slow. And I also need to add. I need to figure out how to add one of the smaller cores on here because, or, the smaller warp cores, just so it has sufficient power to generate enough thrust. Because otherwise, if I do tend to get in here, fire it up, and if you watch the power usage, oh sure, now you're at 46. Well, it's because the batteries are on. But if I turn the batteries off, then it goes to full power. Nice, Thomas. Let's turn those back on. Let's zoom down. Thankfully, since I didn't do anything stupid like move around too much, hopefully it won't take too much to crash. So yeah, note to self, leave the batteries on for full power. But yeah, I just need to get more efficient power sources on here other than just the 6 little reactors I put on. Let's go forward. Oh, too much. There we go. And we're down. Power off. Yep. Thank you, Joseph. But yeah, alrighty. Well, you guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me here this afternoon and just taking a quick little tour with me. Always fun to hang around and chat with you guys, and hopefully I'll see you either on a later stream or who knows, maybe I'll try and get another stream in here tomorrow. But I'll try and see if I can't plan it out a little bit better. Oh, the last thing I forgot, because I was bored the other night, and I realized I needed some magnesium to create the photon torpedoes I wanted. And so when I get to work, the big drill ship can actually do quite a bit of damage. This is actually a 2x2. So I went in here 4 times just to try and get this little sliver of magnesium ore, which, is that magnesium? Oh, it's still magnesium. Okay, so there's a lot of magnesium I need to drill. That's the one resource I didn't have enough of, but everything else, no problem. So let's go ahead back to the cryopod, lock it in, save the game, and we are out of here. I really got to start putting sensors on there so I can fix, so I don't have to do that too much manual. Really? What was open? Whatever. Alrighty. Well, I'm out, everyone. Thank you so much again for sticking around and watching, and I'll catch you later on in the new year. In case I don't, Happy New Year to you all. All right, see you guys.